Sometimes it's nice to have a fresh start. Hi everyone, I'm Jacob. I'm the CowHatLibrarian, and I was excited for this one. If you've watched other videos on my channel, you'll know that I previously talked about the graphic novel Freestyle by Gale Galligan, and I liked it quite a bit. It was a story about a boy who was part of a breakdancing group who competed in dance competitions and had some trouble with his friends because he had to go work with a tutor in science who also taught him how to yo-yo, and things came to a head, and it was quite good. I liked the art style, I liked the pacing, I liked the characterizations. So when I found out Galligan had published a new graphic novel, I had to read it. And it is fresh start. As the story starts, our heroine, Ollie, is attending an international school in Germany. She and her family move around the world due to her dad's job, and she always ends up in these international schools where kids never stay for very long. And Ollie makes friends there, sure, but she doesn't count on them remaining friends. When it's time to pack up and follow her dad, she and her sister and her mom, they won't be in touch with these people after that. So when there's a major misunderstanding and Ollie accidentally heads up for the wrong choir group because she was daydreaming about anime-related stuff, and her friend sort of laughs about it like, it doesn't matter, you're getting a fresh start anyway. Ollie decides, well, you know what, I didn't need her as a friend, and just leaves without anything because she's heading off somewhere else. She's probably never going to see this former friend again. And so she and her family moved to the United States. And it's quite an adventure to head back there. Ollie's dad is from the United States and her mom is from Thailand. The trip is kind of exciting, but too soon it's time for them to attend a new school. Now, unlike the previous international schools they'd visited, this is just a regular public school. It's not intended specifically for people from international backgrounds or whose families have moved around a lot. And Ollie shows up wearing her favorite Quill t-shirt, the anime series she's a big fan of, and she settles in and starts talking with people and gives in to her worst impulses, where she doesn't worry about being weird and just sort of out there because she's going to be moving on anyway. So in her first gym class, when someone asks about her ethnicity, she goes on about how she's a keeper of galactic peace. When she misses the first hit in a game of badminton, she pulls the anime move of, not bad, little did you know I'm actually right-handed. Just for the other person to say, yeah, actually I realized that. And ultimately, going on an anime-inspired rampage where she throws a birdie at her gym instructor. Now, normally this doesn't matter because she and her family will be moving on soon. That's what always happens. They're there long enough to make a few friends and then it's time to go on to the next international school. Well, then Ollie's parents break the news. They're buying a house. They're staying for a while. And so with this hole Ollie's dug herself into, she has to start digging her way out. She gradually gets her teacher on side with her art skills and bonds with her mom a little bit about some things. In the wake of Ollie having her first period unexpectedly in class and her mom taking her out shopping to sort of make her feel a little bit better about things. And in the course of things, Ollie gets a pet hedgehog, makes some friends due to some other people realizing that she's into anime and they are also into anime, and she ends up with this really great friend group. They like reading and watching anime together. They like drawing together. The most popular girl in her grade, Nina, is also part Thai, and her family is encouraging her to learn to speak more Thai and to participate in a Thai festival as a dancer. And she ultimately convinces Ollie to participate with her, and so they practice together. But in spite of all the good stuff, and in spite of Ollie getting her own hedgehog as a pet, things come to a head. Ollie's sister is mad because Ollie is getting favored treatment in their household, getting a phone when her sister really, really wants one, and being allowed to do more things with her friends while her sister has really, really strict curfews and such. And so her sister is very unhappy and fighting with their parents and not happy with Ollie. And Ollie has a blow up with her friends because she misinterpreted things badly at Nina's birthday. She wrote a manga origin story for Nina's character in this series of stories that the friends had written together, and it wasn't what Nina had imagined for her character at all. Ollie's intentions were good, to try to bring Nina up and raise her spirits and sort of speak back a bit against Nina's influencer mom who posts everything online. But there's a big blow up and there's no help on the horizon. This isn't an international school. Her family bought a house. Ollie has to stay and stick it out. There's no hope this time for a fresh start. And the story goes from there. I liked it quite a bit. The setup for why everything happens in this book, Ollie's experiences at these international schools, paid off so well. It led directly to her digging herself a deep hole because she knows she can just start over again. And when she's in a position where she can't, she really has to start figuring things out and how to deal with other people effectively and how to be a bit of a better person. Without giving up the things that make Ollie Ollie, without giving up her love of anime, without giving up her personal style and so on. And it was interesting to see her evolving relationship with her mom and how things went with that, and her mom's push for her to be more Thai and having her participate in that festival as a dancer. Ollie's stuff with her sister was classic sibling rivalry, with the younger sibling being jealous that the older sibling has more privileges and gets things sooner and earlier. It was all good stuff, and I quite enjoyed it. If you like, well, obviously, if you like freestyle, try this, because it's very, very much in a similar vein. I think you'll get a lot out of it. If you like some of Svetlana Chmakova's Berrybrook Middle School series, especially the first book, Awkward, I think you would like this quite a bit as well. Now, there are going to be spoilers ahead because I have to talk about the deal breaker. So, because so much of Ollie's personality revolves around being an anime fan, her blow-ups happen because she's daydreaming about anime. Her friendships come about because she draws anime and manga themed characters and becomes friends with other people who are interested in the same thing. If you are not an anime and manga fan, if you don't sort of know the tropes from it, I think there's a good chance that those readers could get a little lost here. They wouldn't understand the whole racket hand switching thing as being a thing from those sorts of shows. Although admittedly, if they were fans of The Princess Bride, they might get it from the sword fighting scene. But there are a few other things that it sort of expects you to know some of the tropes. And if you didn't, you'd be in unfamiliar territory. That might make it a little harder for someone not experienced in reading manga and watching anime to really appreciate everything in this book. Well, as the story continues, Ollie fights the good fight. She eventually makes up with her friends, she participates in the festival and does just fine, and she even speaks up on behalf of her sister to her parents to get them to realize that, yeah, they are playing favorites in their family. And it's to the point where they when they talk about possibly moving to England at the end of the book, Ollie stops them and drags in her sister to talk about it, and they agree, oh yeah, of course, like, we shouldn't have left her out, which they should have thought that. They should have thought of that in the first place. But still, they're learning, and that was great. It really tied things together, and I would love it if Galligan wrote a sequel. So if you're watching out there, Gale, I would love to see more of these characters. Absolutely. Please consider writing another one with them. I loved Ollie and her sister and her friends, and I want more. That's all there is to it. I liked it. I recommend it. Go borrow it from your library. While I'm on that topic, if you use and appreciate the services offered by your public library, why not take just 1 minute to tell the powers that be exactly that? Tell your mayor, tell a council member, tell your MP or MLA that you use and appreciate the services offered by your public library. We're at a time where some public libraries are having trouble finding sustainable funding to continue improving the materials, programs, and services they offer, and a few good words in the right ears might make a world of difference. If by some chance you're a library staff member, don't forget, watching my videos counts as professional development time. With that, thanks for listening to me make a fresh start of this one. By all means, please like, please subscribe, and please check back to see what else I have to talk about from the CowHat Library. Thank you. Bye now.